Hello students, welcome to new academic year, class 11. Here is your chemistry teacher, Mrs. Sujata, Fatima Convent High School. Unit 1, some basic concepts of chemistry. Chemistry is a branch of science that studies the preparation, properties, structure and reactions of material substances. Importance of chemistry, page number 4 of your textbook. Chemistry has a wide range of applications, but we'll be discussing only few which are given in your textbook. Principles of chemistry are applicable in diverse areas such as weather patterns, functioning of brain, operation of a computer, production in chemical industries, manufacturing fertilizers, alkalis, that is a basic solutions, acids, salts, dyes, polymers, drugs, that is medicines, soaps and detergents. Then we have metals, alloys, etc. Chemistry provides method for the isolation of life-saving drugs from natural sources and makes possible synthesis of such drugs. Some of these drugs are cisplatin and Taxol, which are effective in cancer therapy. The drug AZT, that is azithromycin, is used for helping AIDS patients. So this can be asked as 1 mark MCQ, that is the drug used for cancer therapy and the drug used for AIDS patient. Matter. You are familiar with the word matter. Anything that has mass and occupies space is called matter. Everything around us can be included in matter. For example, book, pen, pencil, water, air, all living beings, etc. are composed of matter. You are also familiar with the states of matter. In this chapter, we'll be discussing 3 states of matter, that is solid, liquid and gas. All of you have already studied the properties of solids, liquids and gaseous state of matter in lower classes. So you are familiar with the number of things. Now in this chapter we will be discussing only the points which are given. So here, as you know, the particles in case of solids are held very close to each other. In liquids, the particles are not so close and they can move compared to solids, whereas in case of gases the particles are far apart, that is they are far away from each other compared to solids and liquids. Now we also know that solids have a definite volume and a definite shape. In case of liquids, liquids have a definite volume but do not have a definite shape. They take the shape of the container in which they are placed. That is, if you take 1 liter of water in any container, it may be a flask or it may be a bowl, a glass or any shaped container, it will take the shape of that container, but the volume, that is 1 liter, will remain 1 liter only. So it has a definite volume but it does not have a definite shape. The shape of the water will change or it will take the shape of the container in which it is filled. Gases have neither definite volume nor definite shape. They occupy completely the space in the container in which they are placed. So when you fill a gas, you know it will occupy the container completely and take the shape of the container. These 3 states, that is solid, liquid and gas of matter, are interconvertible by changing the conditions of temperature and pressure. That is, solids can be converted into liquids and liquids can be converted into gases. Similarly, we can convert gas into liquid and liquid into solid. On heating, a solid usually changes to liquid. You understood this? When you heat solid, for example ice, it will get converted into water. And the liquid on further heating changes to gas or vapor. When you heat water and further boil, it gets converted into vapor. In the reverse process, that is going this way, a gas on cooling liquefies to liquid. So when you cool a gas, it becomes liquid, and the liquid on further cooling freezes to solid. Classification of matter. Matter can be classified into mixtures and pure substances. Further, mixture can be classified into homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixtures, whereas pure substances can be classified into elements and compounds. Now let us discuss about them one by one. Mixture. When you mix two substances in any proportion, you know that it forms a mixture. A mixture contains particles of two or more pure substances which may be present in it in any ratio. Hence, their composition is variable. For example, sugar solution in water, air, tea, etc. are all mixtures. Now, mixtures are of two types: homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. In a homogeneous mixture, the components completely mix with each other. This means particles of the components of the mixture are uniformly distributed throughout the bulk of the mixture and its composition is uniform throughout. Examples are sugar solution and air of homogeneous mixture. In a heterogeneous mixture, the composition is not uniform throughout and sometimes different components are visible. For example, if you have a mixture of salt and sugar, grains and pulses, along with some dirt, that is stone pieces, they are the examples of heterogeneous mixture. Let us understand once more. If I put salt into water, it gets distributed uniformly throughout the solution. So it forms a homogeneous mixture. Whereas if I add sand to water, it does not get distributed uniformly. The particles will be non-uniform in the solution, that is settled at the bottom. Such a mixture is known as a heterogeneous mixture. Pure substances. When all constituent particles of a substance are same in chemical nature, it is said to be a pure substance. Constituent particles of pure substances have fixed composition. The meaning is, if you take water, copper, silver or any other pure substance, the composition will be fixed. It will never change. For example, if you take copper, it will be always made up of copper atoms, and if you take water, it will always contain hydrogen and oxygen atoms. So in a fixed ratio. So here the composition is fixed and it gives you a pure substance. Pure substances are further classified into elements and compounds. Element. particles of an element consist of only one type of atoms. For example, copper contains only copper atoms, gold contains only gold atoms. So here the element contains only one type of atoms. These particles may exist as atoms or molecules. Examples are sodium, copper, silver, hydrogen. They are elements. Compounds. When two or more atoms of different elements combine together in definite ratio, now they are combining in definite ratio, the molecule of a compound is formed. Moreover, the constituents of the compound cannot be separated into simpler substances by physical methods. They can be separated by chemical methods. Examples of compounds are water, ammonia, carbon dioxide, sugar, etc. This picture shows you atoms of different elements. You know atoms are the basic units of elements, and we will be discussing regarding atoms in detail in chapter 2. Now here we have atoms of hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, copper and sodium. Two atoms of hydrogen combine and give you a molecule of hydrogen. Similarly, they have shown you two atoms of oxygen combining and giving you a molecule of oxygen. So that's it for today. Thank you. Bye bye, and meet you in the next class.